All right. I guess I had to turn that fan off or you're not going to be able to hear me. We'll just turn that off. It's getting hot already. Okay. Well, I put that little thing up about my disgust for our government, the FBI, and all this baloney that's going on. The fact that it seems like they have to have everybody get this GMI. Why is that? Is it to protect you against this supposed disease? Well, I think most of us know the answer to that. I don't have to go into it any further. Hello, everyone. You might wonder why I'm putting this particular video up right now about, according to the Old Testament, how was the Savior supposed to die? Or was he even supposed to die? Well, according to most of the scriptures, the actual Messiah is supposed to stomp all of his enemies beneath his feet. And that's not just a spiritualized concept. It was supposed to be a physical one as well, not just the salvation of mankind. But as I've pointed out, there were two Messiahs, the Messiah ben Joseph and the Messiah ben David. Be that as it may or not, I want to ask everyone a question here today. Jesus said that the Old Testament testified of him. Everything in the Old Testament was pointed to him. I didn't say it, he said that. A lot of people don't like the Old Testament. They said, oh, it was done away with. It wasn't. But regardless, in his own words, he said that those scriptures testify of him. Okay? So given that as the case, I need somebody to tell me what the prophecy said about how he would die, how he would atone for the sins of mankind. I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm going to give a little subsequent follow-up with this. But I want you all to think about where the idea that he would be crucified came from. Because it's not in the Old Testament. Except if you understand what the letters mean. I don't mean the words. I mean the letters. And that doesn't necessarily even mean crucifixion. It just means an end. And I'm not going to expound on that right now, but it has to do with the Tav. In ancient Israel, the sign for Israel was the cross, the Tav. All right, in ancient Israel, in Proto-Hebrew, the Tav was actually a cross. It wasn't the block Hebrew form of it today, which kind of looks like almost like an H with a cap on it. It was the cross. Is that a sign as to how he was to die, or does that just mean something different? Like the Tav means the end. It's part of the Alpha and Omega, which is Greek for beginning to end. In Hebrew, it's, as I've often explained, Aleph Tav. So, my question to everybody is, apparently a lot of Christians are really attacking other religions that they know nothing about because they don't espouse their particular mantra and dogma. So I'm going to ask you, where in the Old Testament does it say that the Savior would be crucified? How would we know that he's going to be crucified? I'm not saying executed. I'm not saying when he makes a sacrifice for sin, he shall see his seed. That's not how he dies. It just says he will. So I want to know, somebody tell me where the prophecy is that he would be crucified. And I'll come back on and I'll check this later and we'll find out about it. One of the hints is the Tav, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's how. I mean, all this stuff, this Pauline Christianity about Jesus was nailed to a cross because he was doing away with the old law. He was taking the old law and nailing it to the cross and making it die in him so that he could free us from it. And yet he himself said that not one jot or tittle of the law will pass away until all is fulfilled. Well, as far as I can tell, all is not fulfilled yet, and he didn't mean just him doing it. That's not what he said, because he also said any person that teaches another to disobey the law is the least in the kingdom of heaven. Uh-oh. Why am I on this rant this morning? Because I see Christians attacking other people for their faith, and I'm getting a little disgusted by it. If you're so inconsistent, if you're so worried about your own faith that you can't abide the possibility that somebody else might know something that you don't, you got a real problem. God treats everybody according to their own abilities and their own culture. And for you to pass judgment on others according to that shows that you are insecure in your faith, or else you're a bigot, because you don't know the answer to this question. I'm willing to bet that nobody here, and I'm my followers, my supporters on here, my subscribers, you know what I'm doing. I'm not coming after you. This is for some other people who probably have already dropped me off as far as not subscribing anymore, which is good. Wide is the gate, wide is the way, and and broad is the gate that leadeth unto the deaths. Narrow is the gate and narrow is the way that leadeth them to life. Right? But they think that means the way they interpret it is the narrow way, and it isn't. God deals with every person according to their own abilities and understandings. And to denigrate the way God is dealing with somebody else so that you can feel better about your faith is bigotry, and it's bullying. So, I want to know where in the Old Testament it prophesied that the Savior would be crucified. I need to know that. All right, so I'll wait for some responses, and then I'll cover this in depth later. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read a little bit out of Robert Eisenman's book, The New Testament Code, which goes into this in depth. Talk about forcing prophecy. We're seeing that happen today. And we know the people that are doing it. They're trying to force prophecy, but why are they doing that? What is their motivation? And if it happened in the past, what was their motivation at that point in time? We're going to talk about those things. Okay? So your assignment is, since Jesus said that the Old Testament were the scriptures that prophesied of him, that were all about him, I want to know where it says that he would be crucified. Okay? Give me that information. We'll talk again later, everybody. Out here for now.